This week on Lip 'em and Rip 'em.
The Good Neighbor Project of San Diego places special emphasis on activities that encourage character and life skills development through mentoring and education.
Scoop, we're trolling with the homie.
The programs are offered in conjunction with businesses and other nonprofits in the community.
There's double. There's a double. Oh, jeez, look at that.
That's another nice sized fish
It's
there.
not bad. See, these brights are doing the trick, I think.
Yeah, he's a nice one.
We are in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Its timelessness is legendary, with its pristine beaches, magnificent scenery, historic landmarks, virtually endless ocean activities, and best of all, world-class fishing. But San Diego holds a special secret just 30 short minutes inland, at a very unique place called Lake Jennings. Lake Jennings was a lot bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. The lake terrain is amazingly diverse. The shore is lined with sage, cattails, and distinctive rock croppings. The hills are just as diverse. There's actually palm trees on top of a lot of these hills. This week's episode is dedicated to the Good Neighbor Project of San Diego. This is an organization dedicated to offering inner-city youths and their families an opportunity to participate in local events and fishing programs. Youth are given a chance to experience educational enrichment, life skills development, and physical wellness. Joining me at Lake Jennings is Mr. John Alvarado, who is the Executive Director of the Good Neighbor Project, San Diego.
We're trying to help facilitate what makes up a family. And oftentimes, that's just being a good neighbor to the person who's, having a little trouble. For a lot of the folks, it's just a matter of having someone they can confide in, someone that they can trust, bring their kids out, have a wonderful time, and bringing them out here to the outdoors really opens up a lot of these kids to something new, something they've never experienced before.
John brought with him a couple of great young men who themselves are a legacy of the Good Neighbor Project of San Diego, Jesus Escobar and Eddie Endres.
John, I want to thank you, man, for getting us out here. Appreciate it. Lake Jennings, California.
Let me tell you, this is one of the best kept little secrets in San Diego, Lake Jennings.
Not for long, huh?
Not for long, yeah, that's true. It's a great little fishery. This is our home lake, and we bring a lot of our young people out here, and of course our heroes, coming back from Afghanistan and whatnot. Some of us think that the best thing that can happen to a young person is to bring them out here to the outdoors and take them fishing, which we did today.
Fish on.
No sooner than we got out there, fish on.
Man, these guys pull. These guys really pull.
Poor Jesus, he got a lesson in netting fish.
Okay, you're going right over the top of him. Perfect. No, not that. Don't hit him like
Underneath.
that. Underneath him.
At first, he would try to scoop the fish from going over the top of it. That doesn't work very well. That's going to knock the lure out of the mouth, and you're just going to be in a world of hurt when you don't pull that fish in.
Underneath.
There you go. Perfect. Nice job.
Jesus today learned how to net. The first couple tries, well, they were tries.
When I get him real close and I say get him, just go like that, right in underneath him. Make sure you go underneath him and then lift up.
And he saw that netting the fish was more than just scooping it up, so to speak.
And it's a good idea with trout, especially with nets, so your net doesn't stink up the boat and you don't get crusty slime all over it. After you net a fish, always dip it in the water and then bring it back in. Cool?
But he caught on quickly.
Like you're
Scoop.
eating soup. There you go. Don't jab at him, just nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth.
There you go.
I learned that I shouldn't do it over the fish or hit a fish. I should just go under it.
So Eddie asked a lot of great questions, and one of them was about the lead core.
Yeah, you got 50 feet of regular monofilament line. And so this one's first color is orange.
So I explained to him how every 10 yards is a different color, and trolling the speed we were trolling at with those type of Dick Knight spoons, that lure was dropping about 5 feet per color.
So every 10 yards is a color besides the monofilament. You got 50 feet, so it's got lead built into it. So we'll let this out until you get to the actual lead core, and then it'll pretty much just take itself out. Then you just click that forward, let it sit,
Another good question he asked is why we were using the colors we were using for the lures. Well, I always say bright day, bright lure, dark day, dark lure. So we had a mix between some red and some coppers and some nickel finishes with the bright chartreuses.
So that one we caught that fish on, I mean, that's called a fire tiger, so it's got like chartreuses, oranges, blacks, you know, it's bright, but it's not a shiny bright like a nickel or a silver. When the sun comes out, that's when you want to use the shiny, shiny stuff.
Lip 'em and Rip 'em proudly recommends Dick Knight, fishing tackle for salmon, trout, and more. Gear Grabber, the powerful magnetic lure and tool holder. RustyLures.com, the sexiest thing since the cane pole. Pro Control, fight the fish, not the trolling motor. Bryce Canyon Country, America's greatest scenic and outdoor destination.
Our strategy today is we know that the fish are up on the surface early in the morning. This lake is famous for by 9:30 in the morning, if you haven't caught your limit, it's over for the day.
Where are we going?
We're going to head parallel on this shoreline. The fish seem to be scattered, so we're trying to find some new fish along this bank, and then we're going to head out towards the buoy line. We basically have 3 points in the lake that we're going to be working off of. We're going to be going to your left. It's a big, slow turn, and when we do, that's when we're going to nail them.
Oh, there we go, fish on.
Fish on!
So John knew basically where to go to find these trout, and we went into this cove area and he would just do circles, and as we went around and we were figuring out the pattern, the circle got tighter and tighter, so we were making tighter turns.
I had a feeling they were going to be a little shallow.
We're going to work the edge of that until we can find where the largest population of the fish are at.
There's double, there's a double.
Oh, he's off, mine's off.
So is mine now.
But I think that's where he found the school of trout.
That guy busted the surface and he's gone.
So Big O Rod sent me out a trolling rod. It's a 7'6" medium heavy action. It worked great with the lead core line and the lures we were using.
Oh, there's fish. Fish on, back rod. Go ahead, take it. You steer, you're good.
Woo, this is a good one. Nice one, I see color.
So I was really impressed with these Big O rods, and John was taking a look at it, and he was really impressed with the split grip handle. So what that does is gives you leverage with that longer handle up against your elbow to help you fight that fish.
Another one on the Big O rod.
You know, this working out pretty good. I can put this right up against my forearm.
I like how long that.
And that split handle is really working pretty good.
Nice.
The way it fit the forearm was great. You know, I've never used one of these before, and well, it's kind of nice when something actually works. I'm going to try to keep his head above water just a little bit, skip him across the water. Get ready, it's going to slide right in here.
Oh,
awesome.
There he goes. We'll call that catch and release.
So I got this little producer TV guy. He can edit, he can film, great cameraman, but he can't tie a lure on to save his life.
Oh, please, Lefty. Of course I can tie a knot onto a lure. 134 of these babies. I could probably tie a knot onto a lure with my left hand tied behind my back.
Dude, do you even watch your own TV show?
It's called Old Man Granola, and you can get that online, oldmangranola.com. Yeah, this is really good stuff.
We got to be really careful when we go by that. See how far those guys are casting out? There's actually a few bobbers out there too, so we got to stay way out from those guys.
Make a nice big sweeping turn, not get too close to them.
So when we went back into the boat cove area, I decided not to go as deep with the lead core. I put one rod at about 1.5 colors out, put it about 5 feet, 6 feet below the surface, because we did see a few fish breaking the surface and those osprey diving for them.
They can nab that guy from 400 feet away with no problem. The osprey are very good fishermen, and of course when they see a free meal laying up at the top, in arm's reach so to speak, they're usually there first.
So that told me to bring the lures up, and sure enough, fish on.
Hey, rod. You just jumped. Now don't pump it. Yeah, just start reeling.
Eddie grabbed the rod.
Keep the rod tip down and out. Yeah, just keep reeling steady. You're perfect. Yes, thank you. Keep them down low, yeah. So you're doing good. Fight's good, don't they? You got one color left, then you got another 50 feet of monofill in it. It's like a decent rainbow. He's staying in between the lines. Look at that guy go, man. They see the boat and they just freak out.
Oh.
Ah, swing and a miss.
I want to jump in the water and grab this guy, man.
I so felt for him.
It's all right, man.
Heavy right now.
It's all right.
he was so bummed. And you know what? It happens to the best of us.
This is what happens.
Yeah, right now we're heading into the wind a little bit, so
WIND.
it kind of pulls us back.
We don't ever say the WIND word on a boat. Superstitious, man, because then it kicks up like there's no tomorrow. That's what I do. I always spell it. Everybody's like, what? I'm like, just don't say it. Good.
He got right back up, put that lure back out in the water, got another fish on, and he did it perfectly. So the Sierra rainbow trout are the common stalker here in Southern California freshwater fisheries. Most lippers are out hitting saltwater species, so there tends to be low pressure on these fish. They can grow to impressive sizes. So Eddie ended up catching a beautiful Sierra bow, and Jesus netted it perfectly. It couldn't have ended any better.
Man, it was cool, man. Shannon's a real cool dude. You know, I had a lot of fun. I mean, funny thing about fishing is, you know, you can meet somebody at the beginning of the day, but by the end of the day, you're friends. That was real cool, man. I really appreciated you guys coming out here.
Sad thing, there was a bird hanging from a tree, and obviously it had probably picked up a hook and tried to fly off with it, and of course the fishing line went with it. We never want that, and we want to be good to the animal life around here. I think that's part of life, and whenever possible, we need to make sure that we act in a responsible way.
Give it a pull. Go ahead. Just start reeling, man. You want to give me that, John? I'll take it.
Okay, there you go.
Not fast, just nice and steady. No, you didn't. Keep reeling. See? Just keep reeling.
You know, a lot of times you see something without seeing the big picture.
If you can, keep him over that line, so bring your rod tip back towards the boat. See him? There he is. See if he can go over that line. He's gonna be, oh, nice job. Okay, just bring him steady. Stop reeling. Stop reeling and bring it back. There we go, got it. Got it.
I saw today that he started picking up some of those pieces.
That was on the copper and red Dick Knight. Cool, go throw him up in the cooler.
I was trolling with my buddies on the day that I caught my very first fish, and now I'm hot. Yeah. Go for it, dude, because I like what I say, because I'm a fisherman as of today.
You can't lose with the spoon I use. Dance, Oompa Loompa, dance. So later in the afternoon, the clouds broke up, so John and I went back out to see if I could lay this myth to rest that you can't catch fish after 9:30 a.m. The morning bite ends at 9:30.
Morning bite ends at 9:30, and I'm usually home by 10:15.
The pattern that we originally laid out this morning seemed to be working.
That's the shad imitation. Perfect. Thank you.
That's it.
So John told us about these Sierra rainbows we'd be catching. They look just like a regular rainbow trout, but surprisingly, they had really pink meat like a salmon.
If you haven't had a fish fry with these Sierra bows, boy, I'll tell you, it's something you don't want to miss.
So it was pretty neat using my big old rod for the first time. It was really amazing to feel that rod, the sensitivity that it gave.
I left this drag a little bit loose.
I think that'll actually help.
Yeah. Man, these guys just full.
Now, how many colors was that?
3. The reason I let out 3 is because how high the rods are sticking up out of the water with the rod holders.
Right.
So to get down to the depth that I want, you got to compensate for that. And middle of the day.
Those little fish can fight.
I don't want to play him that long because of the water temperature. Man, he just goes wherever he wants. Jeez.
Now, once I get their head up just a little bit, then I just keep it up and bring them in.
This one's got beautiful colors. I can see his spots on his back.
Yeah. All right.
See if we can't prove that theory wrong about.
Well, I think we're going to.
I got a pretty good suspicion we will.
It was really nice getting out on the water with just John. It gave us a lot of time to really get to know each other.
Last year, I caught a couple 3-pounders here right off the shore. It was great.
What are you using off the shore?
I was using... I'm not sure I can tell you.
Lefty's really got his work cut out for him because John, I'm telling you, John is just something else. He was asked me the other day, he says, Earl, he says, where do you find most of the fish at? And I says, well, in the water. He goes, no, you're wrong. He says, between the head and the tail. I just about slapped him.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the 4 lines leg core, running 2 different types of spoons. As long as you keep these, there's another one.
So as John and I are talking, one of the rods gets whacked.
He just smacked, oh, and he's gone. I mean, that guy just pounded it. Now, I always worry that that lure's gone, you know what I mean? These spoons are so light that it's hard to tell if they're still there sometimes.
Right.
You know what? That's what I was worried about. That's why he got off. Wonder who tied this on for me. Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Turns out we lost the fish because the lure was not tied on correctly.
Yeah, that came untied. See how it's curly-cued?
Yep.
It was that shad needlefish that I told you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That was my last needlefish.
If you've got a TV producer that doesn't know how to tie knots or anyone else that has a hard time with it, here's a good knot I can show you that should alleviate some of those problems. Real simple, real basic, but it's one of the strongest knots out there. First of all, you're gonna bring your line through the eye, and this will work for a lure or a hook, doesn't matter. And bring it back through that same eye to make a loop. Make it long enough because you're gonna wrap that loop around this main line, back around the line, and bring it through a loop like that, just like that. Before you snug it up, you're gonna bring your lure or hook back through that loop, and then pull the whole thing taut, just like that. Pull the thing taut. That's a Palomar knot. Good size tag end here. Just clip the rest of that off. Give yourself about 1/8, a little bit less. And you're good to go, just like that.
So, what do you think about those Dick Knight lures? I just got a couple in the mail the other day.
You want to take this one?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So running these Dick Knight spoons, they're real light flutter spoons, so they're made perfect for trolling with lead core line.
The Dick Knights, I mean, he's got so many different varieties and colors and sizes out there, but just the action of these spoons, and I typically use the bigger ones rather than the smaller ones.
Right.
And but they're made a lot for the kokanees. He's got a lot of bright colors, the pinks and the oranges and chartreuses.
That's another nice sized fish
It's
there.
not bad. Jeez, look at that.
The nice thing about the lead core line, we ran 4 lines on the boat, making sharp turns. The lead core line tracks the boat perfect, especially using lighter spoons. So if you're using the same style spoon, whether it be the needlefish or the Dick Knight, they're basically the same style, so you're not gonna really run into too many issues with getting those lures tangled up.
See, these brights are doing the trick, I think. These bright chartreuses and oranges.
If you go in and you're using a heavier spoon that's not gonna be the same style or the same wobble as the Dick Knight, then you could run into problems when you turn the boat.
Hey, guess what? We got blood in the boat. That's a good thing.
That's always a good thing.
Boy, he inhaled this thing too. You might be doing this one.
Okay.
I can't hold on to him. And so this is kind of ironic, John. We got 4 rods and only 3 arms.
Lip 'em and Rip 'em proudly recommends Big O Rods. Feel, style, perfection. Rocky Brook Sinkers, the original limestone fishing sinker. Old Man Granola, the way food was meant to be. MightyBiteBaits.com, the future of fishing. If you're fishing at Lake Jennings, I'd recommend staying at the Riviera Oaks Resort and Racket Club. Just 20 minutes from Lake Jennings, nestled in the scenic Rocky Hills of Ramona, California. The Riviera Oaks Resort and Racket Club is not only central to Lake Jennings, but all the attractions in San Diego. The living room area was huge, with a couch, a TV, and a fireplace. Right next to it is the dining area, with easy access to the patio. The patio area was great. It was secluded, had its own barbecue, a lounge chair, and table and chairs. The kitchen and the bar area has all the amenities of home, from the dishwasher, coffee pot, refrigerator, stove, and microwave. The bathrooms were probably the cleanest we've ever seen, fully supplied with whatever you needed, all your amenities. The landscaping was remarkable, with the signature California twisted oaks, bird of paradise, shaped hedges, and beautiful flowers.
I, for many years, have told everyone around me that I think I know what would work, but because I didn't really have, if you will, the process down, the steps down, the technique down, is one of the reasons why we asked Shannon to come out and to kind of give us a first-hand look at what he was doing.
That is a nice fish there. That one actually came out of the water. I saw him splash before I saw the rod bend.
That's great.
How's it feel?
Good.
So that's 3 on that. Looks like we might be changing up to
Fire Tiger. Notice how fast I am on that?
Yep.
That's a respectable little fish.
Yeah, it is. Jeez, look at that guy.
He's coming.
Yep.
Quite honestly, I'm going to say it was the largest fish of the day. I don't know. This one might be bigger than yours. Yeah, he's a nice one. It is bigger than yours. Here we go.
Here we go. Get him in there. It is bigger. That's the biggest one today. Nice job.
That must hurt, but you gotta tell the truth sometime.
I gotta tell you, John Alvarado with his big fish of the day, big fish of the day, the guy just would not stop.
Nice job.
I'm afraid that's the big one of the day, my friend.
Big fish of the day, big fish of the day.
Welcome to Lake Jennings for the famous Sierra boat.
Nice job.
Months ago when I first saw the show, I was very impressed. It was a family kind of show in such a way where I thought, you know what, I need this guy to help me because he can help reach a lot of the young people that for one reason or another, because of their disability, may not have the hope or the sense of that they can do it too. And as I mentioned to Shannon, I said, you know what you offer the most is hope to a lot of young people. That's something you can't buy. And because of that, we're very thankful that Shannon saw fit to come on out and spend the day with us. It's been a great day. A couple of the kids that came out are just like beside themselves. They haven't had so much fun ever. And that's a good thing because that'll stick with them. It's a really emotional thing for me.
Yesterday, I'm at John Alvarado. I had a walk from Bay Boulevard.
Of course, we'd like to mention Cal Marine, General Dynamics, Sloan Electric, McDonald's, all the fine people at Lake Jennings, Home Depot, Ryan Brothers, Bob Stahl Chevrolet, Super Science, Ego S2 Slider, Nets, Big Five, Fire, etc., Walmart. Once again, we want to thank all of them for coming out and making this event possible.